Welcome into Steelers Talk. I'm your host, Jack Sperry, and on today's show, we've got our 3.0 7-round 2026 mock draft for you guys. And today, unlike the first two mock drafts we've done this offseason, we are going to introduce trades this week where I'm making not one, but two trade ups in this mock draft here today. So make sure you guys stick around to see where and when I am moving up in this mock draft. But before we get into the content today, go ahead and check out our website here, chatsports.com/pitgreen, to get our Steel City Drinking Team t-shirt. I helped our design team here at Chat Sports come up with the design for this. It's limited edition. It's only going to be available pretty much until St. Patrick's Day, guys, so time is running out, and it's only $30. So if you want to help support the show, if you want to get an awesome t-shirt here with a really cool design, the more that we sell, the more merch opportunities we're going to get here on Steelers Talk. So we're going to have 4th of July stuff and draft stuff and free agency signings and trades and all these different things. We'll have merch opportunities for all those different scenarios, but we got to make sure and we got to prove to our bosses that we can sell this stuff here on Steelers Talk. So if you want to get yours today, help support the channel, chatsports.com/pitgreen. It's down there in the comments and description of today's show if you want to make a purchase. All right, so we'll start here with my first pick here at number 21. I'm not trading up. At least not yet. I'm going to stay put at number 21. I'm going to take Arizona State wide receiver Jordan Tyson. Now, I know what you're saying at home, but Jack, Jordan Tyson's not going to make it to our pick at number 21. There's no way he's sitting there. Are you sure about that, man? Are you sure that there's no chance that the medical risks and the medical red flags pop up for a number of different football teams in a wide receiver class, by the way, that has a lot of really high-end talent? I mean, I think that the medical risks with Jordan Tyson, I mean, he had a complete knee issue a couple years back. He broke his collarbone. He had a hamstring issue this year as well. Like, this is a guy that, has been pretty consistently injured throughout his NFL career, or not his NFL, his college career, I should say. And like, if you have a top 10 pick or a top 15 pick in this year's NFL draft, and you have a choice between Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lemon, two guys that are really, really good wide receiver prospects in their own right, or Jordan Tyson, you're probably going with Lemon or Tate before you're going with JT. Okay, so there's going to be that possibility that Tyson falls down the board, and even guys like Omar Cooper Jr., Denzel Boston, some teams might have those guys higher on their boards than Jordan Tyson because of the medical red flags. But the Pittsburgh Steelers have been a team that's been willing to take players with these kinds of medical red flags. Recently, Peyton Wilson, Troy Fautano, Corey Trice Jr., etc. There's a number of players that have been flagged by a number of different teams for medical stuff that the Steelers have ended up taking in the NFL draft. And Jordan Tyson, on the field, would be, might be the best receiver in this class and would be an instant upgrade to wide receiver 2 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And listen, man, when I look at Jordan Tyson, the way that he moves is just different, okay? At his size, the way that he's able to get in and out of the breaks, his ability to maintain his speed when he catches it and transitions, that's something that's so underrated. That's what makes Puka Nacua so special, is when he catches it, he transitions so beautifully. He doesn't lose any speed. Tyson has the same exact gift. And dare I say it, man, but on film, he looks like Justin Jefferson. Now, Justin Jefferson's the best receiver in the game. Jordan Tyson has a lot to live up to when it comes to that comp. Another one that's close to me is CeeDee Lamb, who, by the way, Mike McCarthy drafted all those years back, and he was an instant success with the Dallas Cowboys. So I look at a guy like Jordan Tyson where it's like, yeah, the medical red flags would be a risk for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but it would also be a risk for other teams, and that might lead to him dropping a bit. And if you bring him in and, he's Justin Jefferson or CeeDee Lamb or something close to that, you are hitting an absolute home run with this number 21 overall selection. And I think the chances of Jordan Tyson being a Steeler next year is higher than some people might think. So now let's trade back into round 1, shall we? Let's get another fifth-year option on a player here. And I'm going to trade to number 32 overall with the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to give them pick number 56 and 76 here. And with this pick, because we don't know what's going to happen at the cornerback position during free agency, I'm just going to draft somebody that can start opposite of Joey Porter Jr. on day one, is a perfect mold for what Patrick Graham, the defensive coordinator, looks for in his corners. Colton Hood, cornerback from Tennessee. He's got the length, he's got the size, he's got the speed, he's got the downfield ball tracking ability, he's got the man-to-man coverage skills that you look for, and specifically Patrick Graham's, preference of defensive system. All right, you got to remember, Patrick Graham comes over from, the Bill Belichickian school of multiple style defense, but what did Belichick like to run when he had the personnel? Man coverage. And I expect, Graham to want to run a very similar style of defense here in Pittsburgh. That is, if he can have the right personnel. And Colton Hood would be one of the better, players in this draft to pair with Joey Porter Jr. for the next half decade here in Pittsburgh. And if you want to run man coverage, you got to have the corners to do it. All right, look at Denver, look at Houston, look at all the teams that run man and run man successfully. They have young, athletic, long, big corners that can hold up in man coverage. Hood would give you a second one of those guys, and I think he'd be this team's CB2 on day one with Joey Porter Jr. locking people down on the other side of the formation. And you know what, guys? I'm in a little bit of a mood here. Omar Khan's picking up the phone again. We're going to trade up yet again, this time in round 3. We're going to move up to pick number 74. We're going to give up pick number 85 and 121 with the Chiefs to move up here in round 3. And with this pick, I'm going to take another player in the secondary to play safety for us, and that's the 222-pounder that's also going to run a lot faster than you think at the combine, A.J. Hauley, all right, or Halsey, however you want to pronounce it there. But the safety out of LSU, man, he can play center field at 220 pounds. That's how impressive of an athlete he is. And his nickname at LSU was Mr. Give Me the Ball, all right? So he's somebody that gets a lot of interceptions and has fantastic ball skills. He also has great speed at his size, and he could be a real chess piece for the Pittsburgh Steelers with Patrick Graham, who likes to do some pre-snap disguising stuff and likes to play 3 safeties and likes to move them around as chess pieces. Having a guy that's 220 pounds that can also play center field and has the speed to be able to do that and the ball skills to be able to do that is a weapon that you can utilize in your defense, and something that I think could be an instant impact with the Pittsburgh Steelers along with Jalen Ramsey and with Keyshaun Elliot on day 1. And then round 3, I'm going to go secondary again here, actually, guys. I'm going to get the future at big nickel for the Steelers and Treydan Stukes. Now, I think Jalen Ramsey's staying for at least another year here, guys, and I think that he's the short-term solution there. But Stukes has experience playing both outside and in. He played a lot of nickel at Arizona as a big nickel type of player, and I think he's got incredible ball skills. Some of the catches this guy has made for interceptions will just blow your mind. But he's very physical, and I think the future of the National Football League is these multiple safety packages that with players that can be interchanged and disguised and rotated post snap. And I think Stukes would bring another element to the Steelers defense, especially when the day comes where Jalen Ramsey no longer can fill that role. So coming up here on Steelers Talk, I've got my day 3 picks for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But before we get into that, let me know down there in the comments section, what is the % chance that the Pittsburgh Steelers draft a wide receiver in round 1 of the NFL draft this year? Put it on a scale of 0, meaning no chance a receiver gets taken in round 1, to 100, meaning it's a done deal. It's going to be a wide receiver. You can mark it down in ink. Let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section for today's pinned question. In just a second here, I'm going to tell you about our sponsor today at GLD. While I tell you about our sponsor today, give me a number between 0 and 100. And with that, let's have word from our sponsor today at GLD. And let's be real, guys, buying men's jewelry nowadays can be a complete nightmare. Most of the time, it's low-quality junk that just snaps after a week, or it's just insanely overpriced with ridiculous markups. That's why I rock with GLD. Use code CHAT to get 50% off at GLD.com. GLD has completely changed the game in men's jewelry. You're getting quality pieces that are built to last without breaking the bank. And unlike a lot of other companies, GLD only uses real gold. None of that cheap stuff. Every single stone is meticulously hand set, plus their proprietary production process makes sure you're getting the highest quality jewelry possible. You can literally see and feel the difference. And guys, I actually have my pendant from GLD to show you guys here. I wear it on our Steelers Talk watch parties during the season. I'll wear it on the live shows from time to time. I absolutely love it. And the feeling that I get when I wear my GLD piece, guys, it just hits different. It elevates my entire fit. The confidence, the compliments that I get, the way that I carry myself just all changes instantly because of that bling around my neck. And GLD has everything from chains to pendants to rings, earrings, even fully iced out watches if that's your style. But whatever your style is, they've got you covered. And listen, don't just take my word for it, guys. Over 2 million customers and 50,000 2,000 5-star reviews back this stuff up. Not to mention, it's worn by some of the biggest names out there like Justin Bieber, Micah Parsons, Tyreek Hill, Malik Neighbors, A$AP Rocky, and a ton more. But the best part is that every single piece from GLD is guaranteed for life. It's literally built to last the rest of your life, just like your love for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So work hard and change the game. Right now, GLD is making shopping easy for you guys for a limited time only. New customers get an insane deal of 50% off when you use code CHAT at GLD.com. That's 50% off with code CHAT at GLD.com. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. And a big thank you to GLD for sponsoring today's edition of Steelers Talk. Here in round 4, I'm going to get a big, hulking run plugger at nose tackle for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Kennan III from Alabama. I mean, just look at the picture, guys. This guy is just a stump in the middle of the defense, and that's all I need. Okay, you got the pass rushers. You've got TJ Watt. You've got Alex Highsmith. You've got Nick Herbig. You have Derek Harmon. You have Keanu Benson, Cam Hayward. What you need is a just giant circle that isn't moving in the middle of your defense and is holding the line of scrimmage. That is what Kennan III does. Just massive human being that was also a team captain for Alabama. He fits into what the Steelers need perfectly. Then in round 5, I'll take a quarterback to develop alongside Will Howard behind Aaron Rodgers for another year. I am projecting Rodgers would be returning in this scenario, and that's quarterback out of Penn State, Drew Allar. Big-time arm talent that can cut through the wind in the conditions of Pennsylvania football and AFC North football. And, I think that he sees the field better than people give him credit for. Some of the decision-making stuff and, some of the accuracy concerns are legitimate, okay? And he's going to have to develop if he's going to reach his upside that his arm talent provides him. But I think that given a year to learn from Aaron Rodgers and to compete with Will Howard for the title of, the future franchise quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers could do him a lot of good, especially coming off that major injury that he suffered last year at Penn State. So I think this would be a great situation for Drew Allar. If you can get him in the middle of day 3, I think that would be the perfect place to take him. Then around 6, I'll take a wide receiver that's getting a lot of buzz after the Senior Bowl here, and that's Tyren Montgomery from John Carroll. Somebody that is rising up draft boards right now, an electric player that was super productive at John Carroll, and then he just looked like he belonged at the Senior Bowl. And, we've seen kind of small school guys like this, Jalen Coker, for example, Julian Edelman, a lot of these different types of players that just kind of come out of nowhere, but, they can just, hold their ground against NFL caliber talent week in and week out. And I think Montgomery as a second wide receiver to take as a developmental piece, somebody that has a lot of great tools to him. I think that this would be a great addition to the Steelers wide receiver room here on day 3 if he ends up making it this far. But then we get to a guard from Kentucky that I'm really high on and I think could be a steal based on where he's currently ranked on the consensus big board, and that's Jalen Farmer from Kentucky. Now, Dane Brugler from The Athletic has Farmer ranked number 81 on his big board, okay? That is a top 100 prospect that we are getting here in round 6 in this mock draft because the consensus big board is allowing me to take him. But this is Dane Brugler talking about Jalen Farmer and his profile. Using his long arms and leg drive, Farmer can fit up and dump defenders in the run game. Despite some pad level issues, he has a stout anchor and heavy punch in pass protection, and he is quick to replace his hands and recover if he's initially beaten. He looks like an NFL starter. So I don't know what the Steelers are going to do at left guard this year, guys. They could bring back Isaac Seumalo. They could kick Broderick Jones inside. They could plug Spencer Anderson in there. They could bring in somebody else. But listen, man, you're going to have to find a future long-term solution at that position. And Jalen Farmer is a 6th-round pick that I would consider a top 100 player in this class. Complete steal, and could be somebody that could be a starter for this team down the road at a very low draft pick selection here. And another guy that I think is a complete steal, and is actually another guy that Dane Brugler has ranked as a top 100 prospect in this class, Keyshaun Elliot, the linebacker from Arizona State, at pick number 237 in round 7. What a steal this would be, guys. Elliot is currently number 85 on Brugler's big board right now. And, when I saw that Elliot was was like 240 something on the consensus big board. I'm like, I'm taking every opportunity I can to take this guy here in round 7. This is what Brugler has to say about the Sun Devil linebacker. With his ability to pick up pre-snap cues, Elliot diagnoses quickly versus the run and has the speed to chase down plays. He was up and down in coverage on tape, but he can hold up in zone and communicates well. His production and character are extra feathers in his cap. And to play in Patrick Graham's defense, guys, you have to be able to communicate and you have to be, somewhat versatile. And I think that Elliot brings that to the table. I think this would be an excellent pick in round 7. Then also in round 7, I'm going to take Caden Weegan, the wide receiver, kind of special teams ace out of Iowa, somebody that would probably be the punt returner to replace Calvin Austin III. Absolutely electric at the Shrine Bowl. And honestly, man, as a wide receiver 5 that can come in, in a pinch and, separate versus man and, do those things, he was just dominating the one-on-ones here in Frisco for the Shrine Bowl this year. So I'm going to take him in round 7. So that's my 3.0 mock haul here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I made a couple trade-ups, really invested early in the secondary to really lock up the defense with great young talent. But Jordan Tyson, pairing him up with DK Metcalf for the next half decade, Colton Hood, A.J. Hauley, and then Treydan Stukes to be the future of the Steelers secondary. Then you get a nose tackle and Tim Keenan, who I believe can start day one in the role that they would ask him to play. Drew Allar as a developmental quarterback prospect. Tyren Montgomery as a really nice, piece from a smaller school to get on day 3. Jalen Farmer and Keyshaun Elliot, 2 great steals in round 7. And then Caden Weegan as a special teams player and contributor on day 1. So it's red pen time. Grade this week's mock draft for me down there in the comments section, A, B, C, D, or F. I'm sure there's some people that might be upset that I went secondary 3 times in a row in the first 4 picks of this mock draft, but I think it all worked out at the end of the day here, guys. So grade this week's mock, A, B, C, D, or F down there in the comments section, and that'll be it for today's edition of Steelers Talk by Chat Sports. Thank you guys so much for all of your guys' support. I will see you guys next time, and until then, guys, here we go, Steelers.